Virginia, would you please like to introduce yourself? Sorry, you're on mute.
Hi, I'm Virginia, and I'm the founder of Viacom Packaging Solutions, and we package any product, automotive parts, consumer goods, and we've been in business for 7 to 8 years now.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Tyler, can you give us a quick intro?
Sure, yeah. My name's Tyler, and I'm a recent graduate. I'm an old family friend of the Roots and Kelsey, and I'm very happy to be here today.
Okay, thank you so much, Tyler. And last up, Flor, would you please give us a quick introduction as well?
Hi, how are you? I'm Flor. I'm an entrepreneur, and also I work enabling entrepreneurship and innovation co-creation and youth empowerment to be able to create social impact through these processes. I'm happy to be here. I'm so grateful to hear you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Flor. So that is our panel, folks, for today. And I'm going to just, hold on 1 second. Let me just make sure that we have, yep, perfect. Got it. Okay, so the first participant is going to enter now, and that is Nashville. I have just admitted her.
Hailing from Cape Town, South Africa, she's the 18-year-old winner of the 15.2 cohorts, founder of Django.
Yes. And Nashville is an absolute boss. We're very excited for you to meet her. Hi, Nashville.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the Shark Tank. These are your sharks today. So we're going to start with you telling us a little bit about what are you making and your pitch, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nashville Taylor, and I am 18 years old. I'm originally from Zimbabwe, but came here in South Africa when I was a little baby. So all my life, I have always taken part in as a prefect, as a school leading council. I was a librarian. I literally used to take every leadership skill that was there, and I should make sure that I would stand out. But one thing in life is I always thought I knew everything until my final year of high school. I wanted to find a job, and it was difficult to find one because before I go straight into uni, I wanted to make some extra cash. So I went on the big wide world to like find an extra job, and I couldn't find one because due to COVID, everyone kept telling me, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we can't hire you," and everything. And I was like, "Okay, fine, I can't make extra cash, it's fine." But then I went on the internet, and I wanted to find opportunities to look out for, before I start uni. And I started looking for opportunities, and I couldn't find anything that was particularly for me. All I found was big scams and other irrelevant stuff not for my age. It wasn't until I came across School of Future on Instagram. From then onwards, I fell in love with School of Future. I began looking around for businesses to start. What business could I invest myself into? Could I do gender-based violence and all these things? There were so many things that I wanted to go into, but one thing stood out for me. It was unemployment and poverty. No one wanted to go into that topic. No one wanted to invest their money into that. And that's when I decided to come up with Jingu. Jingu meaning friend in Korean. Jingu finds employment and opportunities for both teenagers and adults. Jingu is for everyone. And when I mean everyone, even the disabled people, everyone. So what we do is we find employment and opportunities. We find if you feel like I love reading, there's something that is there that's about reading that will bring another source of income into your household. So all of these opportunities will bring another source of income for your household so that you now know that there's something that is bringing food into my table. So now I've created a website and an app. So my app will soon be on Play Store. So what my app does, it doesn't only just give employment and opportunities. I've now figured another way to give those employment and opportunities. I now provide the skills and knowledge for both teenagers and adults. So if you don't know IT, Jingu now teaches, we bring in professionals to teach IT if you want to learn how to start writing your own books and so that you can sell your novels. Now Jingu offers that because a lot of kids don't know exactly what my language techniques and all these things. So Jingu now offers a variety of opportunities around the world for you to explore. And all of these things bring another source of income. So now we're eliminating unemployment and poverty. Yeah. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nashville. That was great. And I love the name as well. Can you tell us a bit more about how you came up with the name? You mentioned it's a Korean name.
Name. Yes. So in the business world, if you look around at everything, there's a trend. Your business has to go along with the trends. A lot lately, everyone has been watching Korean movies and anything that has to do with Korean, everyone is jumping towards it. And I was like, at first I wanted to call my business Homie. And Homie was kind of cool, but there's another business called Homie. And I started looking at and I look at the trend, which was Korean. And I was like, okay, wait, Jingu is something that everyone wants to draw themselves to, so which is a friend. So what other way can I call Jingu? Yeah, then I was like, Jingu, there we go. Jingu meaning friend in Korea. There we go.
Anyone is welcome to ask a question.
Hi, Nashville.
Hello.
Good to see you so passionate about what you're doing, and it's nice to see you here. Just wanted to know, as you mentioned that your app would be on Facebook. That's what you said?
On Play Store.
Play Store. Okay, okay. So, how would you get the users to your app?
Okay. So first of all, I've already started advertising my business in so many ways. I went, I did research on how to get my business out there, which was using Google Business. And by now, if you type Jingu on Google, it's there. If someone had to type right now J on Google, my business would come right up. It's on the list there. So I get now people, if you had to type J, instantly Jingu would come, even though you don't want to look for Jingu. So it's there now. And then another way I've been bringing people to Jingu to come close to Jingu is through videos. I make TikToks along with my stakeholders, and I explain to people what Jingu is all about. And I tell them if there's a new update on my website, if there's anything, people love my videos because I follow the trends along while teaching them about business through Jingu. So not only just that, I engage people through my business. I've been inviting everyone through my journey, making through videos, through testimonials, anything to get people to know what Jingu is all about and when is the next thing coming up and so on. I invite people through the videos on Instagram and TikTok, Facebook, anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little bit curious about the community, in a lifetime value for somebody who does enter Jingu and starts to gain skills for their employment. How do you envision them sticking around and meeting other people within Jingu? How do you envision the community and the lifetime value of a user?
Okay. First of all, Jingu, I don't when someone I've been asked that question, how do I make someone stay? How does the community get involved? First of all, I think everyone who is seeing me right now, they know the passion that I have and they know what this means to me. I'm from my perspective, Jingu is not just only about myself. It's a story about everyone else. So how does this work? These opportunities, I'm not telling them that you can become a doctor straight away. You have to work hard. And Jingu will find ways to get those scholarships for you if you want to go to university and you want to become a doctor or anything. So how do I get them to stay? We now have on the app, which I've put on, a loyalty card. For someone who had been there for so long, because obviously most of the classes aren't going to be free. For someone who has attended 1 or 2 classes on Jingu for maybe a skill that they've been looking forward to, where they've started going to, the loyalty card allows them to have free other classes for anything new that they want to learn. So we've also added another a bar where people can meet people around the world and they can have conversations, have stories to tell, introduce themselves in every aspect in life, maybe share a video about themselves. And we'll also try to bring in So it's not just only about them now staying because they've made friends or anything. Jingo on its platform right now with those loyalty cards, we're going to make sure that we can also give people grocery packages through, because now I'm trying to collaborate with other companies at the same time. We'll be able to give people money for just being on Jingo itself, because we're trying to bring everyone to know that we can eliminate unemployment and poverty through Jingo. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Virginia, would you like to go ahead with, I think Floor, this might be the last question, but let's see. Let's see how much time.
So I think your business, it sounds like a great idea. How do you spell the company name?
JINGU.
GU, okay, perfect. And then, so what is your actual what demographics are you trying to reach? Is there a specific age group? Is there a specific business you're looking at placing people in? What is the demographics you're trying to reach?
I'm trying to reach both, like I said, both 15 years old to 50 years old. This is the age group I'm looking at, because most adults think life is over, you know? They think like, once I reach 30, there's no more opportunity. There's no one wants to take me when I have a family or anything like that. And that's what I'm trying to reach. I'm trying to tell everyone, even the elderly, like if they feel like they still have something else to achieve in life, from Jingo, they can do all those things. And one thing I noticed about each and every platform that has employment services and that they give, they've started this thing where you have to always buy a premium. And with Jingo, there's nothing like that. We're not trying to make people pay for every single thing, not at all. Each and everything that you want to like apply for is free, first of all. Even the first classes that you take, they're going to be free, to get people out there to know that, hey, listen, so now I have learned a new skill and it was free for me. And not only just that, we also going to try to reach people who already have achieved something in life, because they also don't feel left out. They can also try to also teach other people who don't know anything. Like teachers can teach students to become tutors on their own through Jingo as a platform on my app. And that's what I'm trying to like reach out to everyone. So we're reaching out to basically everyone. We're not leaving anyone out.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Nashville. You did really, really well. We will bid adieu to you for now. So feel free to go to the GTF press channel and you can hang out there and answer questions. Thank you so much. You did really, really well. Be very proud of yourself. We are really, really proud of you as well.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay.
All the best.
Thank you.
Okay. Live stream. Sneha, if you can please stop streaming us so that we can chat a little bit. Give us a message, Arghe or Sneha, once you have started the stream.
Yes, done.
Awesome. Thank you. And I can see Darren is in the waiting room. So we do have 2-3 minutes. Raw thoughts, what are we thinking?
I think very confident girl.
Yeah.
A lot of clarity. And yeah, not at all nervous at all. So she was good.
She really was. I think Virginia's question was the only thing that made me think like why focus on everyone? Then you're really not focusing on anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very broad. That's a big group with a lot of different, ideas or goals. And I think she'd be very successful. She started off a little more narrow and, and then expanded and widened as she perfected an age, maybe she did something in an age group that she relates to, because I think that would be great to have somebody encouraging you. Yeah. But 15 to 50, wow.
Success with teenagers. So I'm surprised that she wouldn't try to like hone in on the teenagers. She's, she's in a lot of teenagers.
Because she's and I love that she actually brought her personality so much to the business. Like, yes, Google Analytics, but so much better to do like reels on YouTube where her, the people who get inspired by her are actually there. What did you think, Tyler?
I think like everyone said so far, she has a lot of energy and she seems to be on her way to good success. But what I was wondering, and I don't know if I should be asking these questions, but how does she plan to make money with this platform?
Yeah.
Make a living for herself. I mean, it sounds like a great idea. And like what you said, Virginia, it's a little too broad to begin with. She did mention how she's bringing in users through TikTok, and I think that would definitely, you know, target that younger audience. But
Mhm.
how would she do the same with that older demographic?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, you
no,
definitely love that about the money.
I think she's
making.
great. Yeah, yeah. I don't I don't want to grill him,
Yeah.
but
But I think like of all the businesses, like one thing I'll say is that this is a business that can make money. Like you can see a business model there. I think it's just about, for me, the biggest thing was like if she just honed in her audience, if she had a clear sense of who she is serving and focused just on them, then it is a thing that can make business. And I also like the strategy of offering a few classes for a skill that makes them feel like, you know, you're getting a win, all of
Yeah.
that.
I love that. I think it was like a freemium stage of the business, like to get involved in what we are going to obtain of this, like the users. I think she's so passionate about it. It seems like she really knows the problem because she had the problem. But I was thinking the same of Tyler, that I don't know if it was okay to ask or not. And another thing that I was thinking is how she can test the idea with, for example, how, like Virginia said, with a small group, with a small demographic group, to test, to see how it goes, and then to iterate the idea.
Absolutely.
But I think she was so passionate, and she really have a lot of passion about the problem.
Yeah.
And so confidence too. I love it.
Awesome. So I'm seeing Sunita ma'am, Virginia, and I have all voted. Kelsey, Kelsey, Florencia, and Tyler, please go ahead and put your numbers in.
yeah, Didi, I wanted to mention, I didn't see the email with the attachment.
Oh, I sent it to you on chat, Tyler.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, on Zoom.
There it is.
Ooh,
Yep.
This is the wrong thing I just sent. Ignore this.
A quick
All
question.
good.
What feedback are you looking for in founder points?
Founder points, like I feel like I should have named it something better. My apologies. I wanted to be kind of like, what did you think of her as a founder? You know, founder proper fit kind of concept. Yeah.
I love her energy. It was like, I really want to know more about how she is going to solve this problem. Like to start to exchange ideas with her. It's like,
you should see her. You should see her like streams and stuff. Like she's just amazing. The energy. Yesterday also when she pitched, she said something along the lines of, you know, like anyone outside of SOAP, if anyone says something, just tell them I just pitched in front of 100 people. Have you ever done that? I was like, okay, cool. That's an amazing argument. Okay,
I think, I think 10 minutes was a little less time, you know, but then I do understand.
I want to know more, like.
I am inviting the next student in now. She's Darren. Kels is the dog again, so please introduce Darren when she comes in.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Tell Sneha if you can please get the stream back up.
Darren, welcome. So everybody, I'm very, very, very pleased to introduce Darren, hailing from Pretoria, South Africa, 14-year-old winner of the 17 cohort. She is Darren, founder of SSH.
Good everyone, I'm Darren, I'm 15, and I'm one of the courageous and passionate founders of SSH, Safe Serene Haven. And I actually joined School of Future so I could find a way to help the world as a whole. And today I'm going to tell you how my company fights against one of the most overlooked violations of human rights, domestic violence. SSH is a web-based and mobile app, and it has 4 functions. an emergency button, an educate yourself section, a safe room, and therapy sessions. After coming across the story of a 15-year-old boy who lost all of his family members due to lack of access to urgent help, I decided to build an emergency button. Once a person is in need of urgent help and they click the button, it picks a location and it gets them medical help, police help, legal help, or connects them to the most convenient domestic violence shelter. Statistics from the United Kingdom shows that domestic violence can be prevented, and education plays a very valuable role in this. In the Educate Yourself section, there will be diverse courses for absolutely anyone to equip themselves with knowledge on domestic violence, how to support or intervene, and the range of tactics perpetrators use. Based on the interviews and surveys that I've conducted, I realized that therapy also plays a vital role in preventing domestic violence. So we'll be offering therapy online or in person for absolutely anyone. Just having the right people there to support you, listen to you, and reassure you that you're not alone goes a very, very long way. So in the safe room, you can anonymously get things off your chest, you can talk about your problems, you can give or receive advice, and you can share your experiences. And because these abusers are extremely nosy, there's a special vanish mode. Once you exit the app, everything changes from domestic violence related to a basic to-do list. Statistics from the United States show that every minute, 24 people are victims of physical violence. So by the end of today, we would have missed out on about 35,000 people that are being hurt by this person that's supposed to love them, with 137 of them dead. In a year, this equates to about 50,000 of them dead and over 10 million violated. Domestic violence is real and it's happening every day. But we can work together, educate ourselves, support survivors, and educate our friends as well. Shed more light on it by using SSH, because whether we like it or not, domestic violence isn't everybody's problem. So the solution must be to. I have just informed you on how my company would have an essential impact on domestic violence. Do you have any questions concerning my idea?
Thanks, Darren. That was really, really well put, and we loved hearing your passion. So you said there's an emergency button, there's an educate yourself space. And what was the third thing that you mentioned?
A safe room.
A safe room. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. So walk us through the user journey a little bit. So someone downloads or someone finds a space, SSH, and they are, let's say they are the victim of domestic violence. What do you want them to be able to do?
I want them to be able to access therapy. I want them to be able to access the emergency button. So once they pick it, you get their location. And if they need medical help, which is ambulance help, or they need legal help, or they need police help, or they need to be connected to a domestic violence shelter, they just click it and then it picks the location and gets them, contacts to all of them.
I have a question about the button.
Yes.
Have you yet done the research on the logistics of setting up the button to contact authorities? Is there, how do you get clearance for something like that? Because it seems like to have an emergency button like that, you might need a contract with the local authorities, or it just seems it's a great idea. In theory, I love it. I just want to make sure that it works and it's achievable. So
yeah.
So
yes,
have you? Go ahead. Sorry.
You can go. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying. Have we gotten to the point where the research behind the button and its logistics are working themselves out? Do you know exactly whether or not this is attainable?
Yes, it is. I know that I need to access locals, I need to access the government, and I need to talk to them about it, but I haven't done that yet. I haven't yet set up the app. I'm still working on it with my partner right now in Canada.
Definitely. I love the idea. I think it's a really, really great solution to a very serious problem. So great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi. It's a wonderful thought that has come to you, and I definitely wish that you move ahead with this, because a lot of these working with a lot of these authorities, getting sanctions and all, really push back people, and this holds them back. But looking at your passion and the amount of confidence that you have on yourself that you'll be able to do it. I'm very sure you could make it big. But tell me something, how did this idea come to you? I mean, the very thought coming to you, because there are tons of problems in the world. So what made you choose this particular idea, model?
Well, I knew some of my family friends and aunties who experienced domestic violence. So when I joined School of Future, I was looking for a way to help them. I was looking for a way to prevent it from happening to other friends and family members. And during the ideation session, I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no idea how to solve it, and I didn't think I could do anything about it. But I started interviewing people, from my neighbors to my teachers, even to the drivers that dropped me at school. And with the information that I got from the interviews and the surveys, I started building an idea. I started building ways to help these survivors and teach everyone about it before it gets to them.
I'm really interested in the safe room and therapy and then education. And I was wondering, do I download this app when the first sign of domestic violence within my relationship, or do you want, the siblings, like I've met people who have siblings who have experienced domestic violence, or even a teenager, before anything bad happens to her, do you want her on here being educated, doing therapy? I'm just wondering when does the user join?
The user joins at any time. A 13-year-old, a 14-year-old can join and go to the Educate Yourself section. They can learn about it. They can learn about dating violence, because it starts now, and they need to be able to speak up to their partner and tell them when they don't like the way they speak to them. So they need to be educated now. 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 27-year-olds, they need to know about it. They need to know about the signs, the tactics that perpetrators use, so it can prevent it from happening to them or their friends or anyone they know. So if they see someone experiencing this, they can tell them, oh, I see that you're experiencing this. I have learned that, oh, these are the signs, these are the tactics that they use. I just want you to be safe. I need you to get help. There's therapy on this app that I'm using. You can go to it. You can talk to other people about your problems there and stuff like that, basically.
Hi, Darren. How are you? Thank you for sharing your solution with us. So passionate about this. So congratulations on your work.
Thank you.
I was thinking, are you planning to create campaign to build awareness about this problem, or how they can download the app, and why are you offering this solution?
Okay. Yes, I'm definitely planning on creating awareness on it. I have actually built an Instagram account with my partner, and we're currently just posting information about domestic violence. We're posting information about domestic violence and quotes to keep people going. So once the final product is done, we're going to put it there, so the domestic violence survivors that are already there can join and they can use it. So yes, I'm definitely planning on creating awareness. Once the app is created, we're going to start webinars with domestic violence survivors that want to speak to other survivors about it. And why, did you ask why I made it? I think that's the last one.
Say that again, Darren. Sorry.
I didn't hear the last thing she said. I wasn't sure what the last thing she said.
Oh, nothing. I think you answered the question. That was really
good. Very answer. Yeah, don't worry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kelsey, did you want to ask something? Okay. Cool. Darren, one last question for you before we have to let you go. What has been like the most heartwarming moment while building this, or what do you feel have you learned through this journey?
Oh, I've learned so many things through School of Future and building my idea. But one thing that I can say I've learned is that there is nothing I can't do. And when I joined School of Future, like I said earlier, I didn't know how I was going to solve it. I didn't know if I was even going to solve it. But gradually, with my help from my mentor and Kelsey and everyone around me, my friends, I am able to stand here and sit here, and pitch my idea to you and how I'm solving domestic violence. And yeah, so one thing that I learned is that there is nothing that I can't do once I set my mind to it. And that's why I'm here, and I'm so happy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Darren. It was lovely to have you in the Shark Tank with us. You can exit now and we will let you know soon when
Over to the press. Let them interview you.
Yes. Have fun. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Sneha, if you can please stop the stream as well. Darren has like this sense of like raw passion and like a work ethic that almost like shines through. I don't know. I just like, I love her. Like I don't know her, but I love her automatically.
Very, very animated, and like I think she will be a great founder in the sense. I mean, Nashville as well too. But to be honest, I really liked the way she delivered things at her opening. Was like I liked the 4 functions right away. But I mean, she did fumble in some questions. I think I don't know, something defensive about her there. Like I don't know how
She was just nervous, and I think it's like it's hard for her because her idea, there is no way to make money, and exactly what Tyler also pointed out. These things, getting them to work together is very hard, but especially having like the number of students we have had from South Africa and the kind of will that these kids have, plus what the country has gone through and what the experiences are. Like domestic violence is such a massive issue. Like she's picked such a thing that it will actually unite these people. Like everyone wants to figure out a way. So there is like, I would say in terms of like will, there is a lot more Tyler than there would be. Like if you were trying to do this in US, like, I don't know who can save you, but in South Africa, I feel that there's a lot more political will to actually make something like this happen. So that particular problem, I think she'll have slightly lesser of maybe.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it's just amazing to me how a 14-year-old is already tackling a solution like domestic violence with a response or with what she's creating in this app. I just really hope that, and I'm confident in her that she'll figure it out. It's just complex.
Mhm.
But I really enjoyed her presentation. That's for sure.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah,
her 15
I
years-
really enjoyed that too, because I think she was like confidence, but like centered in what she was saying, and I feel like she was really into this about the awareness. For example, was we are going to create campaigns to make the people more conscious about this, not only the one who has the problem, but to involve all the society in this problem. I really love that. This point of view, I really love that, because we are all involved in this kind of problem. It doesn't matter if we have it or not. We have to be in charge of this and to be aware of this. That I really love that. That's why I asked the question and she answered like perfectly. I love it.
Thank you. Virginia, you were going to say something as well, I think.
I say yes. When you think of her age of only 15, she's very impressive. You know, when you compare when you realize how young she is, I think she did a phenomenal job.
Also, just the elements even of the idea, like it's genius in the sense of like simplicity, right? So there's an element of like educate yourself, thinking of safe room along with the emergency button, along with therapy. Like that's just, I was really impressed. Like I was really impressed, because even if someone told me to brainstorm ideas, these are the 4 that I would be left with, you know. I can't think of anything else that's absolutely critical. And she's picked the 4 that are absolutely critical to actually help solve this.
Yeah.
All her numbers also, Jesus, like that scared the hell out of me. All the numbers that she said, like,
yeah.
My goodness.
One more thing I do love about her, she's very direct. Like she will directly ask a lot of things and be like, it's it's aggressive, but it's good when she.
That I love it. Like she was passionate, that's so centered, so focused about what she was doing or how to answer every question. I really love his vibe. Her vibe, sorry.
Awesome. Shall I let the 3rd student in? Okay, beautiful. So this is going to be Malak, and Sneha, can you please have the stream up again? Perfect. Thanks, Art.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. Malak, we can't see you yet. Ah, we can see you now. Hello. Hi. Kelsey, can you do a quick introduction, please?
Hailing from Sharjah, the United Arab Emirates. I believe, Malik, you've turned 14 as well. 14-year-old winner of the 13.1 cohort, founder and CEO of Endless Dawn. Welcome, Malik.
Thank you so much. May I give out my pitch? Hello. May peace be filled with all our minds and hearts today and every day. I am Malaki Hussein from the UAE. Now, before I begin, as much as I wanted to repeat my expo, an annual expo pitch, I always wanted to express my deepest feeling and passion towards volunteering and changing this world. So let me tell you a story. There was a day when I was 13 this year, and it was like yesterday. I got so clever and said, I want to change this world. And I was just 13, as I said. But the next day, it was my birthday, and I woke up being like, so wisely, I am changing myself to change this world. As a matter of fact, explaining this passion towards volunteering, you may ask, which type of volunteering? Simply, we all know it's helping, but I am helping the victims. Victims of what? Victims of bullying, of domestic violence, of SA, and more. We all have a story to share, and mine is, I've seen a lot of victims not getting their rights, and mine either. Did you know that 5.2 million students gets bullied just in America every year? Just in America? Imagine the types of bullying these teenagers had to go through. In fact, it's not just teenagers, children, adults, elders, autistic people, even bystanders. 58% gets their rights, 2% does not, and 50% does not even get the attention for it. So you may ask, how am I solving this issue? I provide with the Endless Dawn the support mentally, therapy, and counseling, the necessary contents such as self-defense, both theoretically and practically. Everyone can as well avail the other contents of the platform, like the 21 different projects toward change, positivity, enlightenment, contemplation, but based on the 21 major arcana. Victims will get to vent anonymously about anything at all. We all know that these victims need support, peace, real reminders, and so does my business offers it to them, teaching them the concepts of when they're getting bullying. My young, youthful business offers it all to them. There will be mentors to guide them throughout the program. We all have special mascots as well and events to clear the children's route and their personal safety in less than 10 years, to make everyone aware of the different forms of bullying, actively try to prevent it without fearing anyone's well-being, nor the children's. All will feel more confident about having a voice in the anti-bullying society. So be ready to create this change. Would you pretend or prevent?
Amazing. Thank you for that, Malak. Tell us a bit more about why did you decide to pick the problem of bullying?
I've seen it a lot happening in my community. I've seen children being abused in their homes. And it hurt me a lot that I was also a child, being like, am I able to do anything? Am I having a voice? And it changed me and led me to this day to create a change within this world.
So, hi, Malak. It's wonderful to have you here. Congratulations for being part of it. I really wanted to ask you that how do you want to take this up? Is it virtually, or is it like you want to have an office? And because this is a very it's not an easy task to deal with all this. It requires it's a consistency is something that you would need in this. So how do you plan to do it with the current scenario also, and with technology and virtual system being in place? So how, what is your entire plan for it?
Thank you so much for your greetings. My answer to that is I do have a lot of volunteers by my side, and even I have a lot of like expo volunteers of the 2021 of Dubai, and they're willing to support me as much as they can with this issue, because we all know that this issue is very sensitive and nobody can just be like, I want to solve the issue of bullying. We all know that there are so many forms of bullying, and my self-discipline chose this issue because I am well aware of the forms of it. I am planning, yes, to have an office in the future in less than 10 years, hopefully. I am willing to make my own teamwork to make it in a real world and succeed within this future with the technology as well, within the AI, having these calls with the mentorship as well, programs and so on to help out these bully victims, and not just bully victims, as I said, as in students, but also the autistic people, the special like needs, with providing them by specialists and doctors and so on like that.
Great. I'm going to ask, what does it look like to have, let's say, 10,000 people using this product that you're trying to make? What does it look like as it grows for you?
Can you paraphrase that?
Yeah.
In which point of view?
Right. Like what, we want to know a little bit of if you're open to changing it. What would it look like for so many people to be using this idea at once? Do you see an evolution in how you might leverage once there's like 10,000 people who are using it?
As there will be maybe approximately 10,000 people in my services using it, it will be more spread, more known, with more doctors, more specialists, more therapists, and more of my workers being with me, and more even CEOs or co-CEOs with me, helping me. And I would actually be more than grateful till then. And it might not even be me running the business anymore, because it might exceed the 50 years limit and more, with me providing this business to someone else and just continue it endlessly for the rest of this life and world, honestly.
Okay, tell us a little bit, Malak, about, so I know that you've done a lot of work in actually designing some of these programs as well, right? Tell me which one is your favorite and why. What does it look like?
When I programmed?
Like, for example, let's just say that you were trying to solve cyberbullying or any specific form of bullying. What can someone who joins your platform, someone who joins Endless Dawn, what do they go through? What kind of support do they get?
I really do love this question. Thank you. So when you enter the website, there will be the welcome message. There will be explaining the forms of bullying, and there will be login, and there will also be an app. So this website is also a brief about what this entire app is about. We will be talking about our services, what are the types of services that we provide, and how do we change people, and the scholarships that we also give, because it will also be nonprofit, you know, but there will be also volunteering sites. So there will be donating and so on. In the app, what we provide them with is the 21 different projects. It's 21 different activities, as in other words, towards the major arcana, like the tarot card of the sun. In this activity, we provide them with journaling. Like, bullies will get to be able to journal, and they can make it either private or public. Others will be able to comment on it by relating, by speaking, being vulnerable to each other, you see. So it's like communication, but indirect, but it can also be direct once they be able to follow each other in the app. Like, that's a small brief as well as an example.
I have a question about membership, or if I'm a user, what is my cost for utilizing this service?
It's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit, got it. Alrighty,
yes.
Thank you.
It's a nonprofit, but if you are willing to take classes for self-defense, theoretically, practically, events, workshops, it's like less than $5 utterly, because as I said, it's a nonprofit organization. So as much as I can, I do want to help the world without costing anything out of their lives.
Yeah, I love the idea of some of the services being priced and some of them being free as well. Thank you so much, Malak, for being here. It was a real pleasure to interact with you.
Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening. See you again.
Bye. Awesome. Sneha, can we close the stream, please? Okay, awesome. What did we think? She was a little bit, Yeah. What else?
Started really strong, like so cute, like at the beginning, but got pretty vague with like the actual execution. Because it's funny because she's actually run a ton of sessions with students and affected and tried a lot of things, but I don't think she's decided like what's going to be my thing with this product.
I kept telling her, like, even earlier, I was like, focus on just like one form of bullying. Like, why are you trying to, but she has like the amount of effort that she's put into prototypes. And as Kelsey said, she's probably already worked with over 100 students on helping them get over bullying. So I don't know why she didn't like talk a little bit more about that kind of effort that she has put in already. And that
one thing I think would have been important to ask is like, how does she measure how this has actually gone for somebody? And I don't know that that's like, people have a great time when they come to her sessions, but I don't know that it's been, success has been measured. Sorry, someone else can share.
I think that unfortunately, bullying, what she's offering is not a solution, but conflict resolution. I don't think there's stopping bullying. People are always going to be jerks. Unfortunately, it's just, I guess, the world we live in. That's a grim look on it. I think that the service is great, but like you said, it's a little ambiguous.
Absolutely. I had the same, and also like bullying so many times is an instinct, right? So I remember having this conversation with her almost like 6-7 months back, where I'd mentioned that she should focus and she was very passionate about the cyberbullying space specifically. And I was like, that's actually a space that you can do a lot in. But Jenny, I think you were going to say something.
I agree with Tyler. It sounds like she has a lot of experience. If she's interviewed or worked with 100 different students, that aspect didn't come through. And I would love to have heard some of those, examples of, groups or people that she's worked with, or specific problems, or is there a percentage? Bullying can be maybe very vague. If they're a group of, or a type of bullying, I don't know. I think that it sounds like she's got great experience, has some great experience in the field or in that area, but it just didn't, she got very vague. I agree with Kelsey too at the end. But she's also only 15 or 14, right?
She's
so that's
just turned 14. She's actually 13.
That's amazing.
She also has she didn't mention it, but she has very personal experience in her life with all of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she needs to be a little more focused, or maybe, because bullying is such a huge area. So maybe, she just goes step by step and maybe picks up one particular area, begin with that. Because, getting experts to handle this particular area is also a big struggle across the world, I would say. So tying up with them or bringing them up, even when she's creating this app, if she goes step by step, I think in that course, she'll also learn a lot how to move forward, much more aware.
Yeah, absolutely. Flor, what were you going to mention?
No, that I was thinking the same about Tyler said. I feel like the solution was more like a treatment, like to treat the root causes of bullying. But on the other hand, I think that she's so young and she think about this solution, and I think she's so involved with the problem. It's like she's passionate about the problem. I think she only has to focus, as Nita say, like to focus in one root causes and create a solution in this root, and not to try to solve everything. But yeah, it's so I don't know. I am so grateful to hear this kind of solution. Apart from what we are analyzing, I think it's great that she came up with this idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Do we feel okay with the format? Is there anything that anyone would like to recommend that we change? Good. Okay, awesome. So the next person is almost here. If Sneha, you can get the stream back up, please. Kelsey, were you saying something?
No, just getting ready to introduce her.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Sneha. Dhanushri is in. I think her audio is still getting connected. Yeah. Dhanushri, can you hear us? Hello.
All right, everyone. I'm very, very pleased to.
Yes, my mic was turned off. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes, perfect.
All right, hailing from Andhra Pradesh, India, 13 years old, second runner-up of the 16.1 cohorts, founder and CEO of Engage. Everyone, please welcome.
Wait, sorry for that. Yes, can I start now? Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Dhanushri from India, founder of Engage. I'm that little girl from a little town trying to create my footprints in entrepreneurship with a little fire of passion in my heart. Now, before moving on to my business, I want to tell you on something that I've learned in this journey of mine. Everything comes at its own price. And for this, I know I have to make a lot of sacrifices, and I'm ready for that. No matter how many times I hit the ground, I bounce like a ball. Now, let's get back in business. Engage in simple words, connecting the world. It's all about making friends and sharing something you would like to share with the world. Maybe something informative or just as simple as how your day was. But wait, don't mistake this for any other social media. Here, people learn things from each other and grow to the best version of themselves. The coolest thing in my app is that you can actually meet people based on your preferences and personality. We meet different kinds of people every day, but not everyone becomes our closest friends, right? There's actually a difference between social media and Engage. Social media never shows one's insecurities, whereas in Engage, you can actually post anything you want and you can actually show what you are, your true self. There were so many questions in my mind, and I've built the one solution that solves everything. From making friends to growing as the best version of oneself. Engage pushes you to grow, to learn, to make connections, and to explore your passion. Engage is for everyone. Whatever you are, an introvert, extrovert, Indian, European, reflective, dynamic, because we want our users to learn about other cultures too, every shade of this world. Engage isn't just an app. It's you, it's me, and it's us. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dhanushri. That was really, really nice. I love what you said at the end. That line should be your tagline if it isn't already. Tell us a little bit about why did you decide to create this, or like a deeper form of social media?
Can you please repeat the question, the last sentence?
Yes. I just asked, why did you decide to create this kind of social media-esque, but a lot deeper than that? Why did you decide to pick this?
Yeah, it's Engage is not a social media. Like Engage, like I actually experienced this thing, like where in my childhood I had no friends. Like I was all alone. Like in my family, everyone was busy in their own work, so I really had no friends. And being an introvert, it was so difficult for me to connect with people and school friends. It was just super difficult, and I just wished what if something there is, which can actually make us, which let us make friends. Like we meet different kinds of people, but not everyone becomes our friends, right? Like that, for introverts or for extroverts, for anyone, it should be like we can connect with them easily. They suit with us, or just their personality. So I just always want to make this. And social media is just, I think social media is, we can learn from it, and it's also fake from the side. Like, not everything which is on social media is true. But on Engage, it's totally different. Like you grow, you learn, you make friends. You learn a lot of things about other cultures, about that, about this. It's just English is totally different. And I want to make it a platform which helps people, which, people can actually benefit from this to grow. Yeah.
I can go if somebody else hasn't said something. I really, I do like that its main goal, like, it's to bounce back. I love the opening lines that you're saying, like, you bounce back so many times in your life. And like a lot of those kinds of reasons are trickling in. And like I said, I do love that it's, you can share something informative or something about your day, and you definitely want to differentiate yourself from social media. So could you walk us through, like, when I would want to share and how? One more thing that I really liked as well is that you are saying different people that might meet in real life, they might not ever actually bond. So how do you ensure that, like, people are bonding? If that's one of your unique selling points, how do you ensure that they're bonding with your product in that particular way? Walk us through maybe one thing that I would share and how I'd bond with somebody else.
Yeah, so I've recently learned a thing through SF journey or just meeting new people, like people bond quickly when they have common interests. Like, let's say that I love BTS actually. So if the other person also loves BTS, we actually discuss BTS and what is that. So if there is a common interest, obviously there'll be a bonding between them. So, apart from preferences, there is common interests, we connect people with common interests. And they can also meet people based on their personality. So even if one person says something, the other person can understand them, relate with them, or interact with them in such a way that the other person might feel safe to say anything or just to talk with them. So personality and preferences are given importance here to make friends. And yeah, for bonding people.
All right, so I have a quick question for you. What are your marketing plans for it? How would you really reach out to the masses? One, and so another question connecting to it is that how would you bring in users for what you're creating, and how would you stop? These are too many questions, but how would you stop fake entries to your app?
Yeah, for the first question, reaching out to people. Actually, reaching out to people is like nowadays many people use social media. Like I actually found School of Vichi through Instagram, through an ad. So marketing is really important, whether it may be email marketing, digital marketing, or whatever, marketing is really important. And I'll do marketing. And apart from this, also word of mouth, there's organic marketing. Like apart from the marketing thing, if you actually have a idea with you that benefits the people or something which makes people love your app or business, they'll obviously say to their friends or community that, hey, this is an app, I love it, use this, use that. So I really like this organic marketing technique. Just how Kunal Shah, the founder of Reddit, like he actually shared cake, send us a gift like cake to his first 500 customers. So I think marketing, organic and paid marketing, these both are important to get users. And the next step to make them use your app, cling to it without deleting it, it actually depends on their business, the features, which, the user UI, UX, this kind of things, and the features, like, is your app really the thing which customers need? It's not like they will use or they may not use. It's like your target audience will use it or not. Do they really need to use this thing? Do they really need this? So getting people in based on that. And for the next question, how to avoid fake entries, I'm actually thinking about this thing, like, whether social media or wherever, just people create fake entries and it's really being tough. So I'm actually trying to research on this and trying to avoid this problem, because fake entries and mismatching the genders, it's a difficult problem. So I'm trying to create new ways to solve this problem. I'll definitely look at this. Like, I'm just trying to research and find out more ways, unique ways. Yeah.
Floor, please go ahead. Thank you, Tanushree. That was great.
Hi, how are you? Congratulations of your work and your idea. I would like to know if you have you ever shared or tested your idea with potential customers? And if not, are you planning to do it, or and how are you planning to do it? Thank you.
Can you please repeat the question?
Yes, I would like to know if you test your idea or share your idea with potential customers. Or if not, how are you planning to do it?
Yeah, so I'm trying to test my idea like with my community, like my friends or relatives, like, trying to think from user point of view is really important before creating the plan. So I actually thought from a practical point of view, from a user point of view for creating the plan. And then I'm currently testing it out on my friends, trying to tell to my friends, okay, if there is an app like this, these are the features, would you use it? Like I'm trying to, get those feedback sessions so that I can make my app a bit more beneficial to the customers. Like it's not that I should think on my own point of view. Like even if it's a small community, getting sessions from them is very valuable because they might be our future customers. So I'm trying to collect some valuable sessions, feedbacks. How can I improve my app business? What are the things that you like so that I can update those or make those more important. So I'm trying to do that.
Thank you.
I've already, collected some sessions, feedbacks. Yeah, thank you for the question.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tanushree, for the answer and for being here in the Shark Tank. We'll see you soon at the closing ceremony. Thank you.
Me too.
Bye. Sneha, we can close the stream, please. Awesome. What do we think, folks?
Danu's still here.
Oh,
Great. She's left.
okay. Sorry. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
I'll let someone else.
So is it a social media platform and like microblogging forum specifically for introverts? Is that what I picked up on?
Yes, that is kind of what I gathered as well. I don't know if it's specifically for introverts, but the sense I got was that for people who are looking for more than like a deeper connection than just seeing photos, it's more interest-based, it's more personality-based.
The only issue I have with it, and she had a great presentation, but the competition in that market is huge. I mean, there's Reddit, there's Tumblr, there's even Pinterest, if you will. I mean, if she can specify a target audience, like if it was supposed to be a solution for introverts who want to make friends and have trouble doing so otherwise, that could be something. I'm just fearful of the competition that already exists.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing when she spoke.
Yeah, what I feel is that she should actually, if she just focuses on the introvert part of it, because I think that's a huge issue in amongst the children, especially, and even amongst the adults. And there's a big market out there, and there's so much to change in that. So yeah, I mean, if she just focuses on that particular instead of going, into different directions, I think then, yeah, she can really make a difference because she herself has suffered. If it is coming from there, I think she'll do a wonderful job in that because she's coming from that experience. Yeah.
In the beginning, when she started, I thought it was even going to be a way, because she said she had a hard time making friends, that it would be a way online to first initially communicate with those people online, but at some point be able to then meet in person. So I was wondering if it was even going to be like a community or county-based, it's great to have friends around the world, but if she's an introvert, someone's probably also looking for people that they can bond with, that are close to home, that they can do things with, you know.
Mm.
So that's where I thought she was going. And then it ended up being posting articles, and that's where she lost.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about all the posting and the bad posts. And so I agree. I think she needs to, narrow it down, and, and that would be.
It's like a bizarre thing because obviously mentors also give a lot of this feedback of narrowing it down. But it's literally like, I think the younger you are, the more you feel like, I can do everything. Like, why should I narrow my market down? Why should I sell it to 3 people? Yeah, so that's because that's a common running theme that we are now experiencing with all of them, that they clearly, like, we are able to see clear strengths in them. Like, we can see that Dhanushri can totally shine as like, the leader of the introverts, like bring light to the world kind of. That itself sounds amazing. But I think that the focus is where but what I appreciated the most and what was really, really amazing was her honesty in answering questions as well.
Yeah.
Like Sunita ma'am, the one that you asked, and then Floor, the one that you asked. Great answers to that.
Yeah. I agree with all of you. And I see that she was so confident at the beginning, and I think that how she created the storytelling of her speech was really strong. Apart from the solution, I think it was really strong. And every answer that she gave to us, she felt really confident, and how all this, I think the storytelling was the strongest strength of her.
Absolutely. I was the fake IDs question. That's something we are dealing with right now. It's a very hard problem. So if she was like, I've solved it, I would be like, bro, tell me more, because I very much doubt if you've solved it. It's a very, very hard one to solve. Dahi, welcome to the panel. It's so amazing that you can join us.
Thank you very much, Adita, for this opportunity. I'm really glad to be among these beautiful minds. Glad to meet you all.
Yeah. So I've just sent you a form which has the spreadsheet with your name in it. I'm just going to very quickly show you how to score, just so that, and you have come at a good time. It's going to be so just over here, and we are right now at Sagnik. So if you can just find your name, and then each of these are out of 10. Confidence, passion for the problem, their clarity of the solution. And founder points is just like how poised they are, how they answer your questions, just how do you feel about that.
Good.
Yeah, this is it. Every student gets about 3 minutes to come in, they pitch, and then we ask them 3 to 4 questions, fairly organic. If you need a little bit of help with like some of the questions potentially, which I'm sure you won't, but if you do, there you go. These are the ones that we send to kids early on to kind of prepare them.
Cool, thank you.
Awesome. And when we restart the stream, we will have we'll have you introduce yourself a little bit to our audience as well.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. I will stop sharing this. Awesome. So the next person is Sagnik. He's here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I'm going to let him in now. Sneha, can we have the stream back up, please? Okay, awesome. Thank you, RK.
Great. With great pleasure, I am very excited to bring, hailing from West Bengal, India. He is the 17-year-old founder and CEO of Fire Within Films, winner of the June cohort from over a year ago. Sagnik, we're very, very pleased to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you got my age right. Hello, everyone. I'm really excited to be here today. As Kelsey introduced me, I'm Sagnik from West Bengal, and I am a student change maker entrepreneur, and my business is Fire Within Films. Should I go right in with my pitch? Cool, thank you. Okay, so this is not just my story, first of all, story of a lot of people from all around the globe. So when I was a little kid, I used to dream and imagine a lot. I was more on the creative sides of things always, and my grandfather was the one who had first introduced me to the world of entertainment. The biggest dream sector for absolutely anyone, or that's probably what I thought as a kid. But when I started growing up, I realized that the world of creativity, AKA the entertainment industry, was no more the same. It was dark, filled with lies, power abuse, lack of creative freedom, and lack of equality. However, later on, as I joined SOAP, I started to think of the numerous whys and figured that among the people whom I've worked with from around the world, almost about 97% of them firmly believed in the existence of hate, bias, nepotism in the creative sectors. On one hand, the newer talents went through planned rejection and got tagged as failures, even if they deserved a chance. And on the other hand, the ones in the industry who are already in the industry, they went through hate and unhealthy competition, even if they tried their best. But why does it have to be this way? Everything that we see in this world is an art, and all artists are storytellers. And this is my part trying to get these storytellers equality, representation, and love. Fire Within Films is the name of my business, as I said, and it aims at shifting the mainstream entertainment industry and giving newer talents a chance at showcasing their worth by getting equal opportunities. All aspiring talents around the world in any sector can access the platform, build a portfolio, learn about their specific niche, gain an audience, and also earn from whatever they do. They can collaborate with people from around the world or tutor people by starting clubs. Fire Within Films has currently worked with people from over 10 regions around the world and has built various beautiful relations along the way. Yes, we are reimagining the sector of creativity by building bridges, flipping the script, and aiming for the moon and soaring high. That's Fire Within Films today, and tomorrow it will definitely be the biggest star-studded platform, except there would be no hate, only love and acceptance. Thank you.
Brilliant, Sagnik. That was delivered with a lot of amazing energy. Tell us a little bit about any one of these projects that you've worked on. Which one is your favorite? Tell us a little bit more about it.
So my favorite project would definitely be the one that I'm working on right now. It's the trailer for a short film that I'm making personally. The team is extremely diverse. There's people from Australia, New Zealand, USA, India, UAE, and South Africa. So it's really awesome how we can bond over a single project. The topic is LGBTQ plus inequalities, and we are trying to go as creative as possible. Fire Within Films has always tried to think out of the box, and half of the film is animated and the beginning and the ending is live action. So this is definitely one of the coolest projects that I've ever worked on.
I was actually going to say, walk us through a little bit more of the features of Fire Within Films, a little bit more of all the things that I can do if I am a member.
So I think the best way to answer that would be to explain the different customer personas or the customer segments. If you are someone who is not really someone who's into knowing about the industry or just want to get something new out of the industry, then you get a lot of different contents which we come up with every now and then, different creative contents which do not involve beauty standards or just the specific stereotypes of the entertainment industry. If you're someone who is interested in learning more and increasing your skill set, we give you access to a whole library of curated courses just for you and mentorship where you can learn different skills for about a time of 3 months. And you can start a project in that specific sector if you want to. The third type is if you are someone who's struggling to get their project off the ground, we have a forum where you can post about your project, a global chat where you can meet other creative people from around the world and collaborate with them. And if you are a solo creator, of course, you can build a portfolio and also provide services if you are up for that. And again, if you're someone from the industry who is very much not okay with the different problems in the industry, you can come here, start a club for yourself, and teach other people about the industry through your spectrum.
Hi, I think you did a great job. It sounds very interesting what you're doing in your business. I wanted to ask you, on the project that you're working on right now, how did you get the people together to create the, your group, and what were you looking for in experience, personality, talent? How did you come up with that group? It sounds very interesting.
Yes, thank you so much. I came up with that group. It was very interesting. Last year, I came across a university which is basically free for everyone, and it aims at removing educational inequity. So I went there and I wanted to take a course in filmmaking. And it was really cool that throughout the process, they would give you access to different people. They would give you access to different study materials, through which you can understand about creating a film and leading a social change project through film. And that is something that I've always wanted to do. So the people in that university are more or less from the region of Australia. So that's how I came across the people who are in Australia right now. Previously, I had worked with a lot of different voice actors from the USA region, and I got to know them from this app called Amino. It gives you access to a whole lot of different communities, and based on what are your specific interests. And there's also a website called Casting Call Club, which I used to get some more help from people. And we built such a beautiful connection together. People talk on calls, we discuss about the project, and it's really interesting how they bonded. And the rest of the people were people whom I already knew from School of Future, and some were my friends whom I, again, got to know from Amino. So the team is very, very diverse. And the best part of it is that people did not know that they would be able to do something like this. And we pushed each other forward, saying that you can do this, just why don't you try? And they were like, yes, let's do this. So yeah.
Sagini, thank you very much for your presentation. I like the idea so much. But what I'm really now want to know more is like, I would love to have an idea about some numbers. Do you have any numbers of like how many people already like using your platform? Or maybe you can even tell us some more information about like revenues if you already started to generate money through your application. And if not, I would love to know how you are planning to make your projects or startup financially sustainable.
Definitely. So if I'm giving numbers, about 40 people have interacted with my project. We do not really have a website. It's a work in progress right now. But once it's done, we are going to enlist it in Google through Google Businesses. And we are going to definitely get a revenue from that. Affiliate marketing is something which we would approach later on in the game to get some of the revenue. Apart from that, as I said, we could earn revenue from the club system. If you are starting a club on my platform, you get to earn your money and we get to get something out of it as well. Then there's membership, which won't be more than $10 to $15 per person. Through the membership, you can get access to the course list, which I was talking about a while ago. So that gives us some of the revenue. And I think one of the paid projects that I've worked on was definitely from Seoul. I got about 5,000 INR, and it was really cool. That was still when I was building my project. So, yeah.
Awesome. I think though that's all the time that we have for questions right now. Thank you. Sorry, Floor. But thank you so much, Sagnik, for being here. It was a pleasure to host you in the Shark Tank. You can leave now and we'll see you back at the closing ceremony.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. Just a really quick unrelated question. Is it possible somehow to like network with the ones here?
true Sagnik in form. Yes, we will send you the information that you need after this.
Thank you so much. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone. Have a great day or evening.
Say hi, if we can please stop the stream as well. Awesome. Thank you. Okay.
I didn't have the chance actually, or like the luck and privilege to watch all other pitch presentations, but I'm not sure. But like, yeah, I'm really happy to see confident 17 years old person like Sagnik. That was really impressive. Like, so I really like that. So my comments actually on his personality, because confidence is one of like the criteria of how we judge on people. He was quite confident, and I love that so much.
Yeah, I also love like how, I mean, like you have to know Kelsey and I are super biased with Sagnik because he is just like, dude, he gets everything done. Like this boy has worked 10,000 plus hours for a fact, like out of his own goodwill, right? Like, so there's a lot of love there. But
Yeah.
what yeah, Kel, sorry, go ahead.
Grade him on Fire Within Films right now. Like I can't grade him on like what he's done with School of Future because this is just about Fire Within Films. So
True enough. True enough. I think like tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, what was confusing.
So with this, I mean, I can see this boy there, you know, he's so passionate about it. He's wanting to do it. You could just feel the energy in him, you know, just there. I mean, he did not even have one doubt about what he's wanting to do.
Yeah.
So
And he
brilliant.
goes out of his way to like make things happen for himself. Like even just like I just love his spirit. Like asking for all of your contacts because I want to know like how to get in touch with him. Just
Yeah, so that's wonderful. You know, I could see, I remember my own time, I actually did this somewhere that, you know, in such a forum, I asked somebody, you know, if I could have your contact. So he reminded me of my time back then. But then this child is going to really go a long way. He's too passionate about his work. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing that he put a team together of people around the world. So
Yeah.
he looks, that has to take an incredible amount of effort in just finding the groups and the people to put together. Very impressive.
Yeah, I love that he is so immersed in the problem and in the solution too, because he already has the area doctors. It's like he is working or co-working with 40 people that is working as he thinking the solution. So I think it's so great that he's validating his idea.
Mm-hmm.
And the topic that he's already working on is like, it takes a lot of courage to really pick that kind of a work, which is good. Yeah.
Another thing that I like is the pitch, how he connects his childhood moment with his solution. I love that.
Yeah, I will say like he's done a lot when it comes to like, this is something that's reflective in, I mean, a lot in India too, where it's like you are pinned, I mean, in America too, you're pinned an idiot if you just want to be an artist, like everyone just laughs at you. And I think that that's really like a big theme that kind of like, that's how he hits on all his different customer segments, as he said. Because he works super hard. Like he could be excelling in all the engineering degrees and things like that, but he's like, this is my thing.
Absolutely. And like just finding finding like ways to find people, just taking, because hustle just honestly, if you keep at a problem, you will solve it at some point, right? So that grit that he shows through the work that he's put in, truly exceptional. Give me just a second, everyone. Malin is next, girls.
Yes.
I don't see her in the waiting room. Oh, Jem, I think I like removed Malin, and I'm just wondering if that's the reason it's causing a problem. Sorry, everyone, just give me 1 second.
You guys are all awesome, by the way. This is like really fun for them. And I almost feel like the debrief part is the most interesting part. I wish we could live stream this, but it's not ethically correct.
Okay, so she was removed and she's not able to rejoin. What do we do? Can I send her a specific invitation?
She's trying to take
Join.
someone else's phone and use their Zoom account.
Okay, awesome. So should we just let Malin come last or something like that? Change her order?
Yeah, let's bring Jasmine in.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Sneha, can you let Jasmine know if she can enter? I'm so sorry. Like even when I was doing it, I was like, I think I'm fucking something. And then I went right ahead and did it. It's just like, it's so irritating because students start coming in and you don't have the option to like say later. You just have the option to let them in or remove. And I was like, okay. So.
Okay.
Not there yet. I'm actually sure it's going to take a minute. So maybe we use this time as a break if anyone wants to use the washroom or anything like that. There is a trick. Acha. Arke, you can unmute. Tell me.
I was just looking up the Zoom thing. It says that if you go to your settings, navigate to the meeting tab. And settings on Zoom. Like your
audio or video?
Over here on Google, it says normal settings.
I think it's available. Okay, and then what do I do?
You click on the meeting tab.
Oh, you're talking about yes.
In meeting basic options.
Settings, in meeting. Under, there's no specific tab for. Well, Jasmine is here, so I think like let's do that, but I'll try and figure out.
Yeah, and Malin will get somebody else's computer. I think she has like her parents.
Yeah, awesome.
Login.
Bringing in Jasmine now. Sneha, if you can get the stream back up, please. Let us know once the stream is back up and I'll let her in. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Hi, everyone, and welcome back. So we're just going to get started with Jasmine in a second, but we did forget to introduce Dahi. So Dahi, if you can just give us a short introduction of yourself, and thank you so much again for being here. You're on mute.
Hi.
Hi, Adi. Thank you very much actually for the invitation. My name is Dahi. I'm currently looking from Berlin. I'm based in Berlin. And I've been wearing different hats, but all of them are kind of revolving around the topic of entrepreneurship. So I'm working as an consultant, consulting different incubators, accelerators, to design more sustainable and more effective entrepreneurial programs. And I've also managed a business training program for 3 years with a social entrepreneurship organization here in Germany called Social Impact. And I'm myself also, I'm an entrepreneur. I founded and started different ventures. Mainly, they are impact driven. So that's a little bit of me, and I'm really actually happy to be with you today, and I'm so motivated actually to listen to more interesting startup ideas, startup projects, and to witness actually very impressive confident startup founders like just me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dahi. And over to you, Kels, to introduce Jasmine.
Hello, everyone. Hailing from Johannesburg, South Africa, the 19-year-old winner of the 15.3 cohort. Welcome, Jasmine, CEO and founder of Spectrum Growth Community. You can go ahead with your opening pitch, Jasmine.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. To be unfair is to behave in a manner that goes against the principles of equality and justice. A 2017 study showed that 60% of the LGBTQ students felt unsafe at school, and 60% who did report an incident said that school staff did nothing in response and told the student to ignore it. Have you ever been asked to kiss your partner for another person's pleasure? Because I have. 2 lesbian women on the bus in London were left bleeding after being beaten up by 4 teenage boys that wanted them to kiss. You tell me to be myself, but when I do just that, it becomes justifiable to harass, bully, or even eliminate me from this earth. To solve this problem, you need someone who is uniquely qualified. I, Jasmine Gilbert, hereby introduce my business, Spectrum Growth Community, to tackle the unfair treatment within the LGBTQ+ community, irrespective of any discriminating factors. With Spectrum, you will find a means of connecting with everyone from different backgrounds and find out just how much we have in common, as I've seen with the self experience. You are guaranteed to learn who the community really is, to see that they are human, that they have a heart and feelings just like anyone else, and that they cannot control whom their heart loves. We provide an educate yourself section for people to equip themselves with sound knowledge. There will be informative articles around this community. People will share their personal experiences by blogging and ask for help or advice, and they will see just how valued and cared for they are. They can also share their artwork to express themselves, buy merchandise designed by me as a fashion designer, and check the gallery of heartwarming smiles captured by me as a photographer. Spectrum's vision is to lobby the government to pass a rights charter similar to the human rights one that we have in South Africa, to protect the rights of the LGBTQ+ community. As the new day comes, we have the power to do something different and to be better than who we were the day before. But we do not have to wait for a new day to come, for we have right now. Right now to show acts of kindness, right now to consider other people's feelings, and right now to grow as a community. We are always given a choice in life. Will you choose to stand by Spectrum Growth Community?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for that. The floor is open for questions.
I can kick it off. I said, like, equipped, I love the features, like they're well laid out, equipping themselves with sound knowledge and personal experience, and then the fashion and the art. Tell us a little bit about how you know that you are equipping them with sound knowledge. Like, what evidence of that have you had? Can you tell us about, give one example of what kind of knowledge you equip users with?
So, sorry, could you just rephrase the question for me, please?
A little bit of either an example or evidence that you are equipping your users with the proper sound knowledge that is like helping them.
Yes, so with my interviews that I've done with people, I have asked them what is it that why do they feel that some people are against the community? And they told me that people were unaware of what the community really is about. They didn't know what it meant to be pansexual. They didn't really understand the community. So with my interviews, I've seen that, okay, I know I have a better understanding, a better idea as to which direction I can go with my business, the knowledge that I will be providing them with.
Awesome. A variety of users to help. Cool.
So, hi, Jasmine. It was nice listening to you. I just wanted to know your business model. I mean, how do you plan to really sustain financially in this?
So what is here in South Africa, we've got quite a lot of companies that engage in corporate social investment, and they look at various initiatives to sow back into the communities here in South Africa. There's also government sponsorships, and they provide companies that often invest in social societal programs.
So are you looking at a not-for-profit kind of a thing?
No, so what is because I'll have my own brand within the business. It wouldn't be a non-profit organization.
So you
Thank you.
think a bit more as a social enterprise. There's an element of merchandising and stuff like that that you want to make money from, but you are also looking at funds from corporates.
I would look at funds, but I'm not really, worried about the $1 billion that would be coming from the business. For me, it's more about the billions of lives that could be impacted with the amount of people that identify as part of the LGBTQ+ community. So whatever they're going through, it affects those around them, friends, families, everyone that deal with these challenges. It becomes a ripple effect because what affects the individuals affects those around them. Hence, with Spectrum, whatever the growth the LGBTQ+ community gains from this will affect anyone around them positively and have that kind of ripple effect. My intention is not just to have my business open to people in South Africa. I'm aiming to expand the business globally due to the ripple effect.
I want to open it up for anyone else to ask questions, but I just think that's great. The ripple effect / the fact that you have access to people in different countries and seeing how different countries are handling involvement of LGBTQ community is a very, very smart tactic. Sorry, opening it up for anyone else to ask.
I actually had a question, Jasmine. Tell me a bit more about, so I love that you talked from a space of passion in terms of like why specifically you felt like this idea was for you. Tell me a bit about what has been the most interesting or most encouraging thing maybe that you have learned while building this business.
Is it with regards to what I've learned through SOAF?
No, not necessarily, just like
my experiences.
Yeah, with the business specifically.
Okay, so for me, like this was before, it was just a dream, but now I see that it has become a reality. People that I've worked with, my peers, my mentors, my friends and family, everyone that has encouraged me, I'm now filled with vigor to go and make this happen. So I've learned, to be patient, to be open-minded with everyone from different backgrounds and experiences. But this isn't about what I've learned through this whole experiences. It's more about the knowledge and growth that I can bring forth for the community and to the world.
Great, thank you so much for answering the question. If there are no other questions, I will let Jasmine go. Perfect. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for being here and being a part of Shark Tank. We'll see you at the closing ceremony. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Sneha, can we stop the stream, please? Awesome. Thanks, Sneha. Okay. What do we think? It's like hard to evaluate this one. So very, yeah.
I almost think she has two businesses here. One is a profit, the clothing line, which I think is great, and another is the nonprofit, which if it sounds like she was passionate about a product line, but very passionate about doing nonprofit work as well. I almost see it as two businesses, and I actually think it sounds like a great idea. And then she could use the sales from the clothing line through the nonprofit to kind of make That's what I was thinking. Anyone else saw the same scenario of
Yeah,
two businesses?
I absolutely saw that. I thought that maybe if she were to designate a percentage of the proceeds or her profit to that nonprofit and LGBT support community, there could be a real idea there. I thought that's what she was getting at, but she never said that specifically. So I'm in the same boat as you.
I guess I would have liked to see her fiddle around with designs more too, with the merchandise, and like show us how that went or how people reacted to those things. I do see the merchandise supporting the nonprofit part and all being one, and she can execute. Dahi, go ahead.
The thing is, like, yeah, actually, I lack the clarity. That wasn't clear for me, actually. So what is the relation between the community support or the non-for-profits? And what is the linkage actually between the business idea and the community support? So I lack this clarity. And there is no clear actually business model behind it. So
that's a little bit of what I felt as well, Dahi. To me, it was like there were 4 businesses, not just 2, I feel. Like, because the community aspect I did see, but then I was confused because it was like share art, buy merchandise, photography as well, which is all fine if you're a freelancer, but as a business, like as like trying to start a campaign or set up something, I felt that lack of focus a little bit too much. Awesome. I'm going to ask the stream to get back up. I hope everyone has been able to put in their scores. So just a quick question, Arghay or Sneha, if either of you can tell me, who is coming, who do I let in next? Because I saw both Malin and, okay, Sadil, got it. Let us know, Sneha, once the stream is back up, and I will let her in. Arghay, is the stream up? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, she's in.
Hi. Hi, Sadil. She's definitely. Hi. Awesome. Hailing from Madaba, Jordan, the 16-year-old runner-up of the 15.2 cohort, CEO and founder of Pathtics, welcome, Sadil.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sadil Salama from Jordan. I'm 16 years old, and I'm really happy to be with all of you tonight. If you, can I start my pitch? Yeah, okay. So for the past 1500 years, the education system has been developing really slowly. Technology has improved and new devices have been manufactured, but the use of new technology in education was never good enough. Up to 75% of students have negative feelings towards their schools, whether their academic level was high or not. And why is that? Well, I guess all of us can relate to the answer. Students were we or not. It's because of the boring education, it's because of the boring routine that they have to go through every single day. Wake up early, go to class, open the books, and look into the eyes of the teachers, acting as if they understand a word of what they're saying. And then having to memorize each and every word they've studied for the sake of getting good grades in the exams, because they've never understood the information anyway, and then forgetting it the next day. But till when? Till when will we stay silent about the hate for education that we see in our children's eyes? Till when will we keep that negative energy in our houses? Till when will the experience of education cause stress and anxiety to our students instead of being their comfort and fun zone? How can we all get this to an end? Well, the answer is right in front of our eyes. Pathtics. In Pathtics, we aim to create a platform that helps the students to visualize and understand what they're studying while connecting them to the virtual reality world. In this way, the education experience will be more fun and entertaining to the students, and it will make them more educated as well. It will consist of 4 categories. 1, numerical subjects, where students will learn how to solve equations by watching real life examples. 2, history, where students will learn about past events while literally experiencing them. In other words, living in a historical movie. 3, learning new languages, where people will be able to communicate with each other in the virtual reality world by the chosen language to be able to be fluent in this language. And 4, helping students who are autistic by making them experience new things without being afraid of causing them an injury in real life, as well as improving their communication skills and making them gain confidence. Pathics is needed. You and I need it. The world needs it. So let's make the world a better place for our generation and the next ones with Pathics. Pathics, say no to memorizing. Let's learn something about everything. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Sadil. That was really, really well done. I want to ask you, this is a very crowded space in some ways. Education and EdTech is very crowded at this point. I love the VR angle, but tell me a little bit about like, how do you see it as being unique and different?
How did I see it as what?
Unique and different. Like, how is it different from the other options?
Yeah. How is it different? Because our brain processes the information in a better way when actually an actual image is created. So when you or I live and experience what we're studying, the information is processed in our minds even better than any other like words when you're reading, when you're writing, because when you memorize, okay, you might be able to get good grades in your exams. And that's what our school education system actually tells us. But when you understand the information, you're not just going to write it in your school notebook or your exam paper. It's going to stay with you. It's going to stay with you for lots of years. You're going to be able to use this information. So you will be considered as a literate person. And in our generation, social media is getting over everywhere. So day by day, students are not wanting to study anymore. They think that it's just boring and it's useless. And that's definitely wrong. What will happen to our generation if social media just is there and then the years pass by and teenagers stop liking school, they stop going to school, they stop wanting to learn? What will happen to our generation? We will be a generation filled with people who can't write, can't read, and we'll do nothing to our future. Only people who choose education will be the ones who will actually be successful. So we want everyone to be successful. We want a better generation. So we want them to understand. We don't want them to memorize. And that's why I chose the virtual reality, because in this way, we can process the information a lot of times better, and we can create a generation full of successful people.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Sadil. I had a question about who you would be utilizing this new platform of education. Like what age group? Is it K through 12 or is it older or specific to any age group?
Okay, so as I said, there will be 4 categories. So some categories might match people who are in different age groups, and some might match only people who are in the school age group. So when we're talking about learning and understanding, it might only be for the people who want to learn, as well as the people who are like older, who are in universities, and who are also in who finished their studying period for just learning. Learning new languages can be for anyone. If you're 60, if you're 13. So it doesn't matter the age, as well as the autistic category, the autistic people. Whichever age they were, they can like experience new things with the virtual reality, and they can be able to do whatever they want to do. This might be a step for the solution.
Got it. And just one more follow-up.
Sure.
So is your product, is it a product, or are you planning to be a platform for education? Like, will you implement this VR curriculum and have schools already existing utilize it, or are you creating your own education system entirely?
So thank you so much for the question. So for me, I'm not like planning to create the virtual reality glasses. It's the platform that will be connected to the virtual reality glasses, because whenever we hear VR, it's most of the companies that want to create the glasses itself. my aim is to create a platform that will connect to these classes. And my 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years vision will be schools, stable schools that will have the virtual reality platform connected to them. But the first stage of my business will be just a platform on the mobile phone that will be connected to the virtual reality glasses. And on my website, people can buy the virtual reality glasses. So this will actually be an advertisement for the company that makes the virtual reality glasses, as well as the experience of the virtual reality platform itself. Thank you for the question.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Hi, Sadil, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Yeah. I have two questions. One is, how are you planning to get users to the platform? And the other question that came up to me is, are you planning to work or partner with the schools? If then, how?
Okay, yeah, exactly. So for both of these questions, I actually have a one answer. For me, I'm going to be connecting with schools. Not the school itself, but the students. So go to schools, talk to them more about the idea, talk to them more about how it's going to work. I've already did it with my school itself, and my school will be the first customer. My school students will be the first customers. So I am going to connect the schools to this idea, let the teachers understand how it's going to work, let the students understand how it's going to work, and they might be the first customers. So my first users will be the people in my region, Jordan, because I think this is why I've actually did it, because I see the education system in Jordan is one of like the most failed education systems in the world, because it only relies on memorizing. Thank you so much for the question.
One more question, we have a minute left, and this is something very hard to answer, Sadil. So I just want to hear any idea you have, any future plans for this.
Okay, no problem.
How do you plan on measuring
I'll be quick.
How do you plan on measuring outcomes to know that your students are actually learning and achieving things? How do you plan to like measure that?
Yeah. So there will be a test yourself. There will be a test yourself on the platform. So when they're finished with the education experience, when they're finished with their learning experience, they'll be able to test themselves and just test themselves. And it won't be like a grading system. It will be a system that helps them to get their to test themselves in the most enjoyable way they can, by games, questions and answers, connecting with their friends. So it will be all for the students, all for the sake of the students, so that they get educated and not get bored at the same time.
Very cool. Awesome job.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sadil, for being here. And we look forward to seeing you back at the closing ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. See you. Bye.
Bye. Sneha, we can please close the stream as well. Awesome. What do we think, guys?
I love that actually she started to tackle a challenge or a problem that she's herself facing. And that's actually a good quality of an impact-driven entrepreneur. So I love this fact actually so much. And it's quite clear her solution, but what I lacked, she's not so focused when it comes to whom she wants to target. That's why I liked Tyler's question so much about like, okay, what's your target audience, customers, users?
I do like the fact that she said very clearly that she wants to start with her school and getting her teachers on board, getting her friends on board. I even really enjoyed the fact that she was like numerical, historical language, and specifically something for autistic people. Like that's just really, really interesting, because special education is becoming so much more important now.
I think I loved one thing is that she very clearly mentioned that education at the moment is very boring. And I can see, since I'm in education, I can really see a lot of things that she can do right now with the hybrid model that we have and the need for all these, initiatives. So yeah, bright girl.
Yeah, totally agree. Plus, like, who wouldn't like to be in a like in World War II, learning about World War II, that just sounds fun. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Please get your votes in. I'm just going to, Sneha, if we can get the stream back up, and I'll get Ibukin to come in. Perfect. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome, Ibuki. Giving you a proper
Nice
yeah. Welcome. Hailing from Stefanage, Hertfordshire, United States, 17-year-old first runner-up of the October cohort, Ibukin, founder and CEO of the Reformatory.
Thank you. In the next 5 minutes, I could ruin my life forever. I could put myself, possibly by accident or maybe on purpose, in a position that means I'll never be more than a statistic. And you probably wouldn't care. Have you ever seen a child realize that they've made a mistake? Suddenly the entire world stops and a giant meltdown ensues. At some point, we're expected to grow up understanding that failure is part of life. We all talk about how hard it is to get up and try again, yet how do we support those who've been knocked down? Think about it. You did terrible in that presentation, or you missed that award, promotion, etc. Regardless, the system and those who dictate success stamp across your forehead in bright red letters: failure. Welcome to the life of almost every person who's been in prison. Last year, when applying for a job, I was asked if I had any prior convictions, and one small slip meant I accidentally clicked yes. With no remorse, they stamped my letters and threw me out. I don't have any priors, and yet within seconds, I'm a little girl all over again, and the world has stopped turning. I was the 14-year-old child who got involved with the wrong crowd, trying to fit in. I was the neighbor who left the shops without a thought. I felt a rush of stress and desperation clawing at my throat as I tried to go back and fix my mistake. I couldn't. You can't go back and fix the past. Let me tell you about this. This isn't about deserving. It's about support and compassion in spite of what is deserved. This is about creating a society, a world that cultivates forgiveness and progress, and not constantly letting the past dictate the future. As a global problem, it stands to reason the way we treat ex-offenders distort not only the shape and progress, but the intrinsic purpose and meaning of community. Thus, the Reformatory was born. We're a platform that offers ex-offenders a community, courses, and connections. Our network includes ex-offenders providing advice and sharing their journey to being the entrepreneurs, guidance counselors, and activists of our world, offering a space for those who have lived with the restrictions and mental strain of the pandemic and more for months, if not several years. Upon joining, you can access resources covering topics from money management to an introduction to cooking, helping others gain key insights and skills. We also provide connections to industries, companies, and schools to facilitate their journey. Unlike other services, we're not talking about short-term or transient solutions. We want to give people the resources and support to stand on their own feet. So, if in the next 5 minutes I can make a mistake that will change everything, then it's essential that someone provides a chance to soothe meltdowns and disrupt never-ending cycles of crime. It's essential that the Reformatory gives society a chance to grow up. Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Oh, sorry, Dahi, go ahead.
I just want to ask you, are you a poet? So it's like, I loved your storytelling actually, so very engaging. So you did great. And my question is, so how are you planning to make money? So what's actually your business model behind your great initiative?
So we're a social enterprise, so we do aim to make profit mainly by selling advertisements based on the platform and by offering products such as workbooks to accompany our courses. However, profit isn't our primary aim. So in terms of growth, we aim to operate as the central platform for ex-offenders that can support and lead them to other businesses or aspects of the business that may not necessarily operate on the platform itself. This could include several partnerships with other businesses. We could also perhaps go forward with generating revenue by acting as like a form of affiliate marketing. So that's something that we would definitely look into. Thank you.
If you can tell me a little bit about so when I love the phrasing as an essential platform for anyone who has had any priors or is struggling to get out of the system. Tell me a bit about like, how would you find such people? Like, is the idea to go to prisons and actually form relationships with them, or how would you find the right audience?
So in the beginning, I suspect it will contrast very much to if we were a larger business. But what we're doing is that we'd start off first by reaching out to ex-offenders who already have a platform and who already have a network of people who look to them for advice. And we would also look to partnering with mission-aligned organizations. So whilst we're a business in our own right, since there is a social objective, that is something that we think is very important to look forward to. After reaching a certain amount of early adopters, we would then review, okay, who are the primary people who are really looking towards, who are the primary people who are really using our platform, and that would affect how we go about like finding the new people and finding who is it that is really using us and how do we get to them and how do I find out more about those consumers.
Great, thank you.
I like that. I really like when you said no short-term solution or transient solution. How can users give back to the community? Like how to leverage that, or if you have any plans in that area?
Yeah. So what I found is that what I've started doing is I've started making sure on like Reddit and Quora, I'm always making sure I'm following all the pages on like prison reform and things where people are always asking questions. And I found that a massive element is, especially with the pandemic, there's a lot of uncertainty. And so people are always asking questions, and on some things where it may seem like, oh, there's been a new law that's passed and they don't understand how it's going to affect like their family, friends who are in prison, or a certain system that's come up. Or sometimes it can seem as stuff that's quite trivial, but for someone who's reintegrating into society is a big deal. And so I find that people who, if they can come back, if they can help others answer questions, ask questions about things that perhaps if you put on maybe Twitter or things that people would find a bit confusing or not understand why it's such a big deal, that people tend to find, and it really generates this sense of community between people. And I think having sort of that singular space that isn't part of a large network of other things on Reddit or on Quora would really give this a community and family feel about it and keep people coming back to it.
Do you already have people on your platform, or are you working with them?
So I've started reaching out to a few people who already have like networks. And what I'm really focusing on doing is reaching out to first people primarily in the UK, which is where I'm stationed, but also a few people in like America or India, just to get a bit of I'm looking at as well as that how cultures and how that creates differences. So what I'm really doing is really focusing on doing research and trying to figure out, you know, who are my primary audience going to be? Am I looking for starting in the UK and then slowly spreading out? Or am I looking for maybe starting primarily in India, if that's where there's a real need? So I've started doing a lot of research and reaching out to some people and conducting interviews, but we haven't got people actively on the platform yet.
I think one area to bring up though, if you can maybe would be awesome for you to be specific. I know you've engaged with a lot of these people pretty thoroughly, and that's inspired and pivoted you in tons of directions. So maybe give an example of one or two of the people that you've spoken with.
Oh yes, so I actually spoke with a man called George who lives primarily in Detroit, and he is currently a children's book author actually, but he got involved with probably the wrong people when in his earlier days of school. And so what he does is that him and his wife, they do a lot of things with creating like children's books or things that really center around racism and things about like children and people in his area go through, such as the gangs and things like that, and creating books and stories that really portray that sort of environment and portray that sort of lifestyle, but also showing it in a way that can be resolved and things that people can manage to go through, but also get through and come out on the other side. And so I think that that was something that was amazing and really brought towards the importance of having that community aspect for me.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Ibuken, for being here and for being such an amazing force of nature. It was lovely to host you in our Shark Tank, and we'll see you at the closing ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was an honor speaking to you all and having the opportunity to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Sneha, if we can get rid of the live stream, please. Awesome. Yes, we can go ahead and talk.
I'm just creeping on everyone's scores for the first time.
What I really liked is she's actually doing that market research. She's actually doing research ahead of time to target where she wants to start. Instead of dropping this massive net, she's really honing in on where to start her business. And I think that is really important.
I think one good thing about her was, I mean, everything was good, but one thing which I really appreciate is that the marketing plan that she has, that's very clear. I mean, she's got so much of clarity there. And anybody who wants to begin a business or look at any idea, I think that's one area which one should be, that is one area which really stops people or, stops any idea from moving ahead, and that clarity she had.
Same, I have the same comment on clarity even with the audience. Like, this is the only percentile in all of the pitches where I feel like the audience is so well defined, and I can actually see it taking off because it's a very linked network, right? So the network effects of this, where one prison comes on board, she does well with that. The next, like, just the network effects are really, really cool to understand. And the community is she's very focused. I love the idea of going through influencers, because there are a lot of influencers in this space who have this kind of a background and are now reaching out to other people, helping them get more opportunities in our society. So that was.
I can't agree more, actually. Like, she scored the highest grade in clarity among all the three I've already heard so far.
She definitely addresses when things aren't clear. Like, she's been someone who she takes in the conversations that she has and she utilizes it instead of just saying, here's all the things I want to do. She's really receptive.
Yeah, I love her. I think the pitch was great. And I think that the solution, how she's immersed in the problem, how she's already talking, who has the problem, how she answered every question. I think she was so solid. Like, she was a lot of work behind to arrive here with some constructive narrative, and also she knows how to answer, how to explain that she already, maybe she don't have the answer now, but she's planning to do this or that. I really love how she move and how immersed in the problem is.
She's also really sick right now. So let's just add one.
Okay, that's okay. Okay. Let's have the stream back up, please. Sneha, let us know once it's done or are there, and I will let Debosmita enter. We have 2 more pitches to go. Okay, perfect. Hi, Debosmita. I hope you can hear us.
Hi.
Hello.
There we are. Hello, and hailing from New Delhi, India, the 16-year-old second runner-up of the 17 cohort. Welcome, Debosmita, founder and CEO of Beacon of Hope. You can give your 2-minute pitch right now, and then we'll ask questions.
Thank you, Kelsey. Hello, everyone. I am Devoshmita Moitro, a 16-year-old currently residing in New Delhi, India. I am addressing mental health. Now, why mental health? Let's suppose that you get to know terrorists are hiding in your colony. The moment you get to know that, you will have lots of things on your mind. You will be scared, panicked, a sense of insecurity haunting you as the terrorists are among those residing in the colony. Will you be able to sleep peacefully that night? What if the police suspect you? What if you are arrested? What will others think about you then? You are so stressed. This is an attack on your mental health. Your physical health is not attacked directly until and unless you are attacked by the terrorists, but your physical health can be down if you are not in the best of mental health. And I'm sure you have experienced it when you have felt exhausted just because you were worrying too much. And if you didn't feel that process then, now you certainly can. Also, we can say that every problem in this world can be linked with mental health. Now, speaking of my company, Beacon of Hope, I have two working projects. Firstly, there's an Instagram page called The Beacon of Hope, through which I create awareness and help people go through difficult situations over text. And secondly, I conduct interactive sessions with people where they talk about everything they want to. Everyone using either of my prototypes have felt yes, they can talk about everything freely. When there is an interaction on a call or over text, you can hope to get valuable suggestions and feel liberated from the stigma surrounding mental health. Although I'm not a professional, I have helped many open up through my company. Each session has been a different experience of learning and unlearning and has taught something unique and special. So, just by talking and helping them talk, I have helped them feel better. I have helped people come out of depression by interacting with them as much as possible. I've conducted some 52 interactive sessions with some 39 clients, as we refer to them in professional terms, and I have some 104 users currently. Thank you.
Speaking of the 104 users currently, I'm going to go ahead and ask maybe two things, and you can kind of choose to answer either one. How are they using this right now? And you also mentioned you help them deal with different scenarios. What are some of those scenarios? How did you come up with those scenarios and the solutions as well? Get specific with examples here.
Sure. Like, I know that everyone cannot open up so easily because it's a very difficult task, to be honest. Everyone might not be able to have an interactive session. They might not be able to go on a video call and talk to me, but they can prefer texting. So for that, they can use my Instagram account, and that's how I help them. And some people who want to meet me online, for them, the option of interactive sessions is open. And that's how I have 104 users. And now answering the second question, which Kelsey asked, that was something about how I developed this company, right? So for that, I will say that I have experienced a lot of things in my life, and I realized how important mental health is. And if we ignore it, it's going to be disastrous, to say the least. So I know it's extremely important to talk about our feelings, but it's not so easy to do that. We are belonging from that society which actually asks us to control our emotions, to not show others, because they think that if you are showing emotions, you are weak, which is totally wrong. And there are so many myths which is related to mental health, and it's important that we address that. And for that, I'm doing this. And about another thing that's very important is that when there is any session, there is no time limit, because I feel when we are opening up, it's an extremely difficult task. So if you say that you'll have to open up in 50 minutes or 20 minutes, the person who is opening up, the person who is consulting a psychiatrist, or the person who is talking to you will have that time limit in mind. The person knows that I have 50 minutes or I have 20 minutes, and the person doesn't know what exactly he or she wants to say. So this is all I have kept in mind, and I'm trying to work, and I know I'm going to improve a lot more because ideas are coming on my way, and yeah.
Love that. Love that. Avoiding the time limit of regular therapy. That's cool.
I have a question for you, Devasmita. Hi, I'm Tyler. Great presentation. I really appreciate your passion for this. You mentioned that opening up to somebody else or to the public about your mental health can be seen as weak. And because of that, there's a level of trust that's necessary to create this therapy session and really develop a rapport. How do I, as a complete stranger, how do you gain my trust before we start our session? How can I confidently seek you out for your help?
Definitely. Now, let me explain it a bit in such a way such that everyone who is new to this topic also understands. So when I'm talking about gaining trust, firstly, I cannot do anything so that I gain trust, and I cannot ask you to trust me. You have to test me, and then you'll decide if you can trust me. And another thing that is extremely important is that when we are opening up with our friends or with people we know, we have this thing in mind: what if the person judges me, or what if the person feels that, oh no, we thought this X person was this way, but X person is so weak. So you have that feeling where you think that you will be judged. But when you're talking to a stranger, you do not know that person, and that person doesn't know you. So even if that person is judging you, it just doesn't matter. And now, how I will prove, because I also have some responsibility to prove to my customers that I'm authentic, my company is authentic, and what I will do for that is I have some wonderful customer reviews. I can show those to them. In fact, I would not simply, ask them to speak and speak. I would also speak as much as possible. I would work. I would just try my level best to gain my customers' trust. I will keep encouraging the person to speak. I will ensure that that person doesn't feel bad after opening up, because I have felt this. Once I consulted a psychiatrist and I felt terribly bad after the appointment. So I know how pathetic it feels. So I'm definitely not going to let anyone else feel that way.
Fantastic. Great response. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Can I? Yeah. All right. So I have a quick question for you, Devasmita. Mental health, definitely, especially during the COVID, it has always been one issue in the world. I wouldn't talk about just our country, but nobody likes to really think about mental health. That is such a taboo. So, I mean, you first of all, you got into this. That's commendable. You know, the very thought of getting into this problem or resolving this problem. Now, this problem resolving is how do you plan it? Do you have plans to connect with hospitals? Because you'll have to bring in those experts to handle it. Because this requires a certain amount of expertise. So do you have a plan to approach people directly, or do you want to tie up with the other hospitals or maybe colleges? What's your plan?
Yeah, sure. So I'm very passionate about studying psychology. Now, I would definitely like to study as much as I can, and just not study. I would like to gain more experience, because I have some experience now as I've tackled 2 depression cases, but I would like to gain more and more experience. And after that, when I'm collaborating with colleges and schools or hospitals, I don't really know how those people are. I would like to interview differently, and then I would like to recruit, because I want to see if that counselor or if that psychiatrist is going to make the customer feel comfortable, because that is most important for me. My customer should feel as comfortable as he or she can. And I'm going to ensure that I want to do some field research also. And as it's global, I cannot just keep it, field work. I like it to be online also, so that other people can also take help from my organization. And yeah, and another extremely important thing is that I would like to supervise how my volunteers are going to, conduct the sessions with my customers, because I have a responsibility. I have a very big responsibility towards my customers. I'm going to this session is basically to make that person feel relieved, to make that person feel better. So I will have to ensure that those who are doing this task are expert enough to make my customers feel better. My customers shouldn't be disappointed at all. And if my customers are disappointed, that is my failure. So I would definitely work as much as I can so that doesn't happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Devasmita, for being here. That is all the time that we have. Thank you for being in front of Shark Tank, and we'll see you soon at the closing ceremony.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. Can we close the stream, please? Awesome. Thank you. Yes, we can talk freely.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that a child is thinking about it. And now I think in the schools, a lot of children are getting into psychology because they're personally having a lot of issues. And today's children are very vocal about it. So like we were never, I mean, we had tons and tons and tons of issues, but we could never ever go anywhere and talk about it. With our parents, we were so worried, so scared. So I mean, I'm glad that children are getting into psychology, thinking about getting into mental health and all of that. Wonderful, good, great thought. Yeah.
I love her energy.
Yes.
It was so power, so passionate about the problem, and every answer that she gave was so passionate and long. Like she takes a lot of time to explain in her point of view and everything. I love her energy. I love it.
Awesome. Shall we call in our last speaker? So we have Malin. Can we put the stream back up, Sneha? Let us know. We're running quite late actually, so hopefully. Okay, thank you. So this is Malin who's going to join us, and her name is number 6.
Using Dad's Zoom. Hi, Malin.
Hi. Malin, first of all, my apologies for kicking you out in the first round and all the rigmarole. But welcome to the Shark Tank. I'll let Kelsey introduce you.
Cool. Hailing from Königswinter, Germany, the 16-year-old first runner-up of the 15.1 cohort. Please welcome Malin, founder and CEO of Givo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Malin. I'm from Germany, as Kelsey just said, and actually I changed my company's name to Learn Worldwide. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about what that even is. So, as I said, my company is called Learn Worldwide, and it aims to help teenagers just like myself to study abroad. But what is studying abroad? What does it even mean? So it means doing an exchange in a different country, attending a boarding school, maybe going to a university overseas. It can really mean a lot of things. And well, why should you be interested in it? Why should anybody be interested in it? Well, going abroad for several months allows you to actually get to know a different culture in depth. And especially in these times where racism and discrimination still are huge issues, cultural exchange is super, super important. And studying abroad allows you to do exactly that. And the common misconception about studying abroad that I just want to break really quick is that it's something just for the, let's call them rich and privileged people. And that's actually not true, because a lot of institutions and schools offer great scholarships that people just don't know about. And that's kind of where Learn Worldwide comes in, because what we do is we help you to find organizations and schools that match your needs and expectations. And then we assist you during the whole application process. And we're there for you and your family if you have any doubts or concerns at all. And we do this mainly through one-on-one calls. And yeah, so why do I even do this? Well, I always wanted to study abroad, but when I actually started like doing all the research, I realized how complicated and complex it is, and that there are just also a lot of scams out there, and that it's sometimes hard to differentiate between what is a really good program and what's not. I'm eventually now have done an exchange year and I'm currently attending a boarding school, but it was a struggle to get there, and I don't want other people to go through the same struggle. And that's why I created Learn Worldwide, to share my knowledge with the rest of the world and to make studying abroad possible for literally anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Milena. I would love to start, first of all, I would love to thank you for this clear pitch presentation, and I'd love to ask you about what would make you unique or different than other exchange programs for students. Because I myself have been part of similar programs and have seen different programs for school students as well as for university students.
Yeah, so there are two main differences. One of them is that we focus on boarding schools mainly. Well, like we also cover other things like exchange years and universities and stuff like that. It's mainly boarding schools, and that's something that I haven't found a single company that actually focuses on that, because people just simply aren't aware of, and it's just now becoming more popular. And another thing that differentiates me from other people is that I'm a student myself who has been through the whole application process. And when I researched programs like mine online, I saw that mainly the people leading them were like admission counselors and people like that, who just will review your application, but who don't actually like know the struggles of going through all the application, everything. And that's why I'm the person that they can actually relate to.
Hi, Malin. I'm Sunita. It's wonderful to know that you're wanting to get into college placement and career counseling, which I think is something that's really picking up since, children are going more global now. They've started talking about learning different cultures, and they're very open to the global community now. So there are a lot of people who are, now getting into these kind of platforms, and they're beginning these kind of, they're really opening up to such businesses. I just wanted to understand that, are you already on it, or have you experienced being with children, or are you still planning it? So.
Yeah, so I have like the first kind of like tryout users, I would say. I actually got them over a friend of mine who recommended them kind of my business. So now I'm having like calls with a group of 3 people who want to study abroad, and we're kind of figuring out how everything works together so that I can help them, but also get some experience to see how I can do it in the future.
Another thing is that, have you tied up with some universities, or are you in conversations with some universities to understand the universities much better so that you can serve your clients much better?
Yeah, so well, I obviously I have my own boarding school, and also have researched a lot in that topic, but I'm not like officially working together with any of them. And that also for me was an important point, because what I realized when I searched up like other programs, it's often they collaborate with a specific university or boarding school and then try to advertise only that one. And what I really want to do is I want to be kind of neutral and really help people to find what they need, and not just try to sell them something super specific.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Oh, sorry, guys, do you want to go?
I was to say that was going to be kind of my question, is how do you not make a partnership with the university and try to like push their like sell them more. But I was also going to kind of ask, are we targeting parents? Are we targeting students? And walk us through a little bit of the process of how you're going to get users.
Well, yeah. So I'm mainly targeting students, and that's also why I like mainly work over social media. So currently I have an Instagram page, but I also want to use other programs just like TikTok and Pinterest, because I know that people my age are mainly on those websites, on those like apps. And that's also something because what most other programs think about is just creating their website online and kind of ignore TikTok and Pinterest, because they're not seen as so official, but that's exactly where people my age spend the most time. So that's how I will like advertise my program over those apps and get more followers. But it's also a little bit for parents. It's interesting for both of them, because what I realized also, a lot of parents have concerns about their children going so far away, or where they feel like if their kid is doing it, then they should do it the right way, and then some guidance might be good. So while it is mainly students, it's also parents a little bit. Yeah.
Awesome. One quick question I had, Milan, was that because I remember the first time I interviewed you, you were sitting in your school in Israel. Tell me a little bit about what about this experience with going to another university and going to another school, which is a boarding school in a different country. Why do you think it's so important that other young people do something like this?
Yeah, it's super important, because what I've realized, especially if people just go on vacation to a different country, what they will mainly do is probably they will look up like the 10 highlights from that city and go and visit them, and sure, they will see a little bit of the culture and like the art and cathedrals and everything, but they won't actually interact with the locals. And that's exactly the problem. So like an actual in-depth cultural exchange isn't happening at all. And I realized that when I came to the boarding school, going to that country and staying there for a couple of months and not just a week is the only way to actually learn about the culture. Because, for example, at my school, and that's really what fascinated me, we have both internationals and local people from that area. So you also have contact with people that actually know the country and that can tell you a little bit about it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Milan, for being here at the Shark Tank with us. We love
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Can we have the live removed? Shut down. Okay. Thank you, Sneha. Awesome. So I think we are through all the students at this point. So let's talk about Milan, and then let's also talk about everyone, I guess.
She's sharp. I like her clarity, and she knows what she's doing, and she have really like middle of thoughts. It's clear about like from her answers. Yeah, so I liked her business idea also quite much.
I do too. I think it's actually could generate a lot of money and be really beneficial to people culturally. Those are good reasons to do it. There's a lot that she hasn't developed yet in some ways, and she is aware of that. But
I almost like in her pitch when she said, the thing I connected with the most is when she was like, I want to focus on boarding schools, which no one else does. And that to me was like, yeah, like focus on that and just sell that to like students your age.
Yes, I love that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go on.
I just wanted to say also like she's one of few that started with like validating her idea, and that's also like a good point for her, like it adds to her.
Yeah, and I love that she focused on one thing, but on the other hand, she focused in all the aspects about study abroad, not only the access to the program, like the isolation, how to make friends and everything. I love that she really immersed in how is to study abroad and what are the problems or the consequence of being alone, how to access at the first time, how to socialize with other people in a new place and everything.
Yeah, I think of all the candidates, she was one of the, if not the most clear in what it is she wants to accomplish. And I think that the service that she wants to provide is definitely applicable. And I'm not aware of any current services. So then again, I've never traveled or studied abroad, so I have to do my research there. But
I feel
no,
like boarding schools,
she's great.
maybe not. Sunita ma'am, is there, like, you would know probably, is there anything specifically that does like for boarding schools?
Yeah.
You're on mute, sorry.
Yes, colleges, definitely, but then there are some not big companies, but there's some people who are doing it in very small pockets. So I see a lot she can really make it big if she's guided well, and because there are a lot of little aspects that she needs to look into. So there are people doing it, but at a very small, but universities, I think people have opened up a lot. Yeah. And in fact, I would say that children are wanting, earlier it was like colleges you can go abroad, but now I think with students opening up so much, they would need this, they would really want to go and explore colleges, schools abroad now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome. So I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. I can share it with everyone. So we have Ibukin at first place, Sagnik in the second place, and Darren in the third place. This is very close though between Darren and Milan. And also, yeah, sorry, Kels, go ahead.
Nothing we can discuss. Buchanan and Sagnik is also very close. I want to hear what other people have to say first.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, it's fair. I would say it's a pretty.
What I liked about, I think I ranked Sagnik #1 of my ratings, right?
Yeah.
And I think why, well, first of all, very passionate, but also already has a business in place.
Yes.
And now we'll tweak it like any business owner will start to do as they get more experience and make mistakes, do things right, do things wrong. But I like the fact that there was already, that's why I gave Sagnik a higher rating, was because there's something in place that's tangible that I could
go and do today, literally. Yeah. Oh my God, how are there 22 people viewing this right now?
Is it, I mean, there's 7 of us here. The team is another 10, but I doubt they're all on here.
Yeah, but still that's scary.
Yeah,
okay.
the team
I'm gonna ignore that for a hot second so that I don't have a heart attack. But okay, cool. How do we want to, I see your point for sure, because for me, they were both very, very close. And I'm also clearly ranking everyone the most is what I'm realizing.
So and one area, like, I feel like my scores deviate from everyone else's in some ways. I think a lot of people had put Sagnik as first. I think I was very generous to Darren. And I think that me and Aditi were both very generous to Darren, and the rest of the panel didn't love her as much. So that's where I'm a little bit like, Darren or Malin it teeters, basically. And Malin maybe was more clear in this presentation, but I think Aditi and I know more of like the actual backstory. But I don't know, this is just about today. Like, you guys are the ones choosing the winners.
No, but I think there has to be, like, while I don't think there's a lot of weightage to be attached to what's happened before, I still don't feel that it is unimportant, so to say. Because they had, like, for example, and this is actually interesting to what Virginia just said, because we had the winner from our past stuff also has been Sagnik with a very, massive margin, right?
Right. Involvement of all the challenges the past 4 weeks, votes. He gathered a lot of votes from his friends for like, the pre-stuff. So
yes. Yeah, I think, so what I'm feeling right now is that maybe, how do we want to do the closing ceremony, girls? Should it just be you and me with the students? Like, what is the best way? Or can we maybe let the panel interact with the students for 5-10 minutes? What are you thinking?
that is fine. I also felt like bad. I think we've gone overtime like by 45 minutes. So people like on the panel don't have to stay for this part of presenting the winner. But obviously we love you too. But yeah, I think that's like interacting with all the students at once sounds kind of exciting. I think for just
But I think like, so I'll leave it open actually for the panelists because I do feel like Kelsey and I just need to discuss a little bit more. So I would say that we will get this stream back up, like this link back up in about 10 minutes or so. So if you would like to join us for the ceremony, please feel free to join the link. But there is no necessity as such, like there's no compulsion because we're way over time already.
Yeah.
And I do think we created a really special space for them. They all, I'm sure, will have very good things to say.
I think what I feel is you can carry on with it because, you guys would really, we've had a lot of interactions with them. And I personally feel that you both of you could carry on with that from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you so much for inviting me to listen to their pitches. They're an amazing group of young. It was a lot of fun just to listen to them and hear them present their ideas. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Virginia.
I can only double that actually. It was really actually nice to watch all this pitch presentation, and I'm really glad because like in my life I don't have like so much interaction with this age group, and I'm really impressed. And now I'm going with a call to action from my side that I have to interact more with people in this age. So it's really like motivating and like
We'll keep that in mind, Tahi. You will get more invitations from us.
And Aditi and Kelsey, I have to say, you guys have done a phenomenal job finding these bright, young, and promising students, and they really impressed me. It's just amazing to see what from 13 to 17 years old, 18 years old, what they can come up with. And it's really sweet to see their vision. It's just a beautiful thing. So good job, guys.
With a lot of like our work also, and I didn't want to bias this in the beginning, but one of the big things is like, we never tell kids to make money because the point is like, go build something, right? Like prototype, talk to people. So the top 10, I would say one of the things that Kelsey and I are proudest of is that each of these students have legitimately put like hours and hours and hours of effort, which just leads to the confidence and the growth that you are seeing right now. So just the amount of effort that they have, like the sweat that they've poured into this, that is what will take them further in life. And that's what we, like the whole vision is even. So thank you.
Not to mention, of course, and not to mention the experience they're gaining. I mean, when I was 13, I wasn't pitching my company to anybody because I didn't have one. But it's really impressive. So congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us. So grateful to be here. It was so great to hear such as amazing ideas, so potential entrepreneurs. And yes, I always in love with youth potential. And thank you for letting me collaborate with your project. So good luck with the communication, with the final communication.
Yes, we'll definitely send all of you an email with like who are the final 3 and like what happened, all of that. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We'll say good evening, good night to all of you now.
Thank you so much. You're brilliant.
Great job.
Congratulations on you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Good luck with the choice. It's not an easy one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Definitely not.
Nice to meet you all. Bye.
Nice to meet you guys too. Take care now.
Bye. Bye.
I'm gonna get
Awesome. Yeah. RK, give me a little brief of like what's happening. I don't even know where. Like, is everyone okay?
Yeah, we have no idea where the kids are.
Yeah, I think they're on Discord, but I've told Shoma on the group that both of you are taking a 10-minute break. Probably 10:30, we could like call them back on the Zoom, on this Zoom link.
Awesome. So we'll invite them all back in 10 minutes and we should have a decision at that time. Okay. Whew. Why are there so many people on this link, you guys? I'm like honestly stressed. I really hope that they didn't get to see it.
Anyways, to choose between Darren and Malin, I do feel like weighted Darren way higher than Malin.
Like I think there's no choice. Like Darren should definitely win between those two.
Malin knows she hasn't done that much and she barely made it to the finals.
Yeah. I just don't think it's fair with the amount of effort she's put in. Shit, we should have stopped this recording.
I think Darren will use, and we should have stopped the recording during all